So, good evening and welcome to the full-time phone-in here at Super League Raw, a night where the Hull KR, the Robins themselves, have gone and done it. They've won the league leadership, but by Lord, didn't they have to work for it? Very well played indeed. The young Warrington Wolves, I think we'll be seeing plenty of them in the years to come. A lot of young talent on the field of play tonight at the Craven Park. But hey, tonight belongs to one team, and that, of course, is Hull KR. Nobody can argue that they have been the best team over 27 rounds this season. And, of course, their nearest neighbours bow out, having lost to the Catalan Dragons tonight. Wakefield Trinity, massive congratulations to any of the Trim fans out there. Come and book your call. How you do that this evening, if you're watching us on YouTube, there is a link in the description on YouTube. All you've got to do is press that link and you will be brought in. If you're watching on Facebook, again, the link is in the description. All you've got to do is press that link, follow the the instructions. You need to accept the camera, accept your audio. You'll come into the queue and you will be on the phone in tonight. We're going to go straight to, I think, the press room down there at Craven Street. We've got Steve Mascord down there. Hello, Steve. Can you hear me? Is Steve with us? Can you hear me, Steve? Don't know if your sound's on, Steve. Can you hear me, Steve? Not sure. He's actually down. Steve's actually in the press room, I think, at Craven Park. Hopefully he can hear me. I don't know if he can. Is his sound on? He's looking, but he's not playing ball. He's not playing ball. Hopefully we'll get him on. Rugbyleague.com. Oh, I don't know. Can't hear me. Can you hear me, Steve? Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate, the press conference is on at the moment, so I can't speak.
I know, mate. Well, when they're done, mate, give us a wave and we'll get you on, mate. We'll get you on once they're done. Right, so we'll get back with Steve in a minute. So let's go to a very happy Bazza Kingston. Bazza, hello to you. Are you still away, mate?
Yes, mate. Still in Gran Canaria. So
well, many congratulations. Many congratulations, mate. Your Robins have got it done. You didn't plan that holiday well, did you?
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Well, when we landed in Puerto Rico as well, I didn't manage to see the Wakefield game, and when I seen the score, I thought it's just the start of my holiday, and then obviously I was looking forward for tonight because I think the game was originally planned for the Sunday. Could be wrong. So as far as I was aware, I was going to make it, but then they changed it to the Friday, then the Thursday, and yeah, so it's one of them. I didn't get to see it, but I was there anyway. So my daughter was there. So I'm happy, and I'm happy for a lot of my friends and especially my club mate. It's quite an emotional one, but I've been saying throughout, Dave, never take anything for granted as a KR fan because anything can go wrong. And I think you saw that firsthand this evening of how KR can get a bit jittery, especially when things don't go the way. I mean, 6 weeks ago, the league looked well and truly done, even though I refused to believe it, and me and you had a bit of banter about it. Yeah. I mean, we had what, a 200 odd points difference between us and Wigan. Then all of a sudden it looked like if Wigan did a number on Leeds and we got beat tonight, which looked very, very likely at one point, you know, it's gone again. So yeah, incredible at the moment, mate. It's still sinking in.
Yeah, I mean, cracking. I mean, look, at the end of the day, over the 27 rounds, you deserve it. You made hard work of it. It's got to be said these last few weeks. Before we get into, obviously, the jubilation that is KR and the richly deserved credit they're going to get, I've been saying all year, especially in the latter end, as Warrington's form has dipped, that there is a golden generation coming through at Warrington. And those boys really did show that Warrington fans can go away having seen them go up against the league's best. And they really did put it to you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as a KR fan, I could quite easily say that we had a few personnel missing tonight and we didn't even use Jack Broadbent. But do you know what? It's not even worth that excuse because we had plenty of able bodies out there, very experienced bodies out there. And the young guys from Warrington really, really took the game to us. And they looked like a team, I think, for the first time in the best part of 3 months, the Warrington team looked like a team who was enjoying themselves, who looked like they was happy to be playing rugby. Now, not as a Warrington fan, but as a rugby league fan, I've not seen that probably since Wembley, where the Warrington players looked like they enjoyed the rugby, and tonight they had so much freedom and like showcase the skills. And on what better stage to do it, to go and upset the party at Craven Park? And they did show a lot of skill. I mean, there was a couple of silly errors at times, but that's down to inexperience. But again, they give a great account of themselves, and they kept 11,000 fans very quiet and nervous throughout, and a lot to be proud of. And a little bit of sporty with you, Dave, but can you see why KR are trying to pick off a couple of the Warrington youth, because they are quality players, mate?
They are quality players, and like I say, I mean, you and Irving, 17 years of age, and and it reminded me a lot of when Leon Hayes came through. And I remember Leon playing Saints at home, and in the first half he was feeling his way into it. You know, he'd been giving his head, and then in the second half he shone, and shades of that with Ewan tonight. First half, just got himself into the game, didn't do an awful lot wrong, and then second half really did come into the game and show his quality. 17 years of age, he's only going one way.
Yeah, he is, and it is a very exciting prospect. I mean, he made his debut for Wire this year when he was 18th man and didn't even expect to get a game, and like you could see, he was a baby against men. And as the season's gone on, and every time he's getting an opportunity, he's growing into the game. He's growing into an elite rugby league player. So, will we see the best of him next year? Possibly not. But I'd say as a 3-year project, I mean, it could go down the same pathway as a Mikey Lewis, that's for sure, because he's got all the traits there, but he's not a cocky, arrogant player, whereas certain individuals are out there. He seems in his shell a little bit and lets his rugby do the talking. And for what is he, 17, 18, is a very mature young man. Is a little bit like George Whitby for St. Helens. So just not only from a Warrington perspective, from an England perspective, things like that do look bright. I think Warrington's biggest issue will be is keeping hold of him, because a player that good, and if he's got the potential there to be an absolute outstanding player. But as we see, they always get picked off, don't they? The really, really good ones. So I think that'll be Warrington's challenge.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's important that they're very sensible with the cap. I mean, Sam Burgess at full time, very, very clear that that's Warrington's strategy going forward, is to develop their own. So, you know, as long as they manage the cap well, and of course there's been some, you know, then there's no reason why they can't hold on to him. Very, very exciting. In terms of your team, you know, the double,
yeah,
they had to win the Shield. They had to. I mean, you don't get it wrong. It was touch and go after 65 minutes. But the fact that, do you think that now will take a little bit of the shackles off, or are you concerned in the fact that they've stuttered to a Shield? The grand final is a different beast altogether. Are you concerned that you're seeing things at the moment that
it's difficult. Like I've said over the last 5-6 weeks, we've looked very clunky in attack. I've said it on other podcasts. I feel like Willie Peters has changed tactics slightly. I think what's concerning for me is we've prided ourselves on defence throughout 2025. We've been phenomenal, but we seem to be leaking a few points against Hull FC, obviously Wakefield, and yourselves tonight. And that's not discrediting any of them 3 teams, but Rovers first half of the season don't concede nowhere near that. So I do feel like we are a little bit clunky. Well, certainly in attack, but now I think we're looking slightly vulnerable in defence. So we've got 16 days off now, which you can see the boys need it. How they use it, I don't know. I think it'll be nice for them to regroup, reconnect, if that's the right word to use, because at times I feel they'll look a little disconnected. So it'll just be good, just to it's like regathering your thoughts to go again. So I'll be happy with that. But again, I think you hit the nail on the head, mate. I think we've pretty much fell over the line. You know, we could have had that wrapped up 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we literally fell over the line tonight. So, but again, I'll take it.
Right, well, hold fire because we've got Steve Mascord, who is down there in the press conference room at krrugbyleague.com. Steve, can you hear us? I don't know. Can you hear us, Steve?
Hey guys, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Not if you can, but yeah, I can't hear you. But yeah, we just had Sam Burgess in here, and he was obviously very proud of his men, and he spoke about how hard the team is working to better this year. He talked about what went wrong. He said that it took a lot out of us losing at Wembley. That it was a lot of players in the team hadn't won much, and that a win there would have meant so much to their confidence. Then he talked about injuries, and he said that it's a shame we're not playing next week, because if we were playing next week, we would have taken a lot out of that tonight. He refused to comment on any refereeing decisions, but he said that he said he was clearly unhappy with a lot of refereeing decisions there tonight. And he's asked about Matt Duffy in the centres. He said, well, I only had 16 fit players at the start of the week. And he said Matt Duffy was one of them, so I just had to fit him where. So, but it was quite an amazing night, as I'm sure your viewers would appreciate. The crowd was just deathly silent for long stretches there as Warrington took the lead a couple of times. And certainly at the end there, when they took the lead, I think it was 2016. You could have heard a pin drop in the place, and no one here really had an opportunity to celebrate until that last 60 minutes. And when Tyrone May scored that try, there was a huge explosion of pent up energy, and then there was obviously everyone singing along to Oasis at the end, and it was a fantastic atmosphere. And I can't hear you, unfortunately. Might fix that a bit later, but. I think most people watching it would have a big question mark over, Hull KR in the playoffs, just based on the fact that they've had a very ordinary 5 weeks, and they could have easily lost here tonight. And the certainty that a lot of us had about them having Wigan's measure for a good few months this year, I think a lot of that is dissipated now for a lot of people. So anyway, it's great to be able to join you on the program. We're broadcasting this now on rugbyleague.com, which is fantastic. So thanks for your cooperation with that. And I'm going to put the computer on the table, hopefully with Willie. And you'll be able to hear Willie Peters' press conference and watch Willie Peters' press conference. And then if there's time at the end of the show, I might be able to have another chat, and hopefully I'll be able to hear you.
Wonderful stuff. So that's Steve all the way down there at KR. He's in the press room, Baz. Good to have Steve with us. Outstanding that directly from, and I'll keep an eye out for when Willie Peters comes in, and we can maybe get that as part of the show tonight. But Steve there, another a member of the press, rugbyleague.com, sharing my concerns for KR in the playoffs.
Yeah, pretty much echoed what I just said. Whether he could hear me or not, I don't know. What I did find intriguing was Sam Burgess being upset with some of the referee decisions. I think there was a few things for both sides that got missed. The lead up to Warrington's try was technically on the back of a knock-on, but I thought the errors from Aaron Moore on both sides pretty much levelled it up. I don't think either side really can complain about the ref. But I guess when you're in a tight game and you're on the losing side, I suppose it's to be expected. But I thought personally, and I'm not digging here, I thought Sam was a bit better than that, because I personally didn't think Aaron Moore did a great deal wrong tonight, unless I was watching a different game to you, Dave. But again, you're a Wire fan. What's your perspective of that?
I'm just proud of the lads. I don't really want to get into that. At the end of the day, really, really proud of the lads. I mean, what I would say, Baz, is the fact that, if we go back to, I don't know, round 15 and that Warrington team plays KR, you put 60 on them, mate. And because that's how you were playing. And what we're seeing at the moment, for whether it's fatigue, whether it's been the expectation, whatever it may be, the last 5 weeks, KR have not looked the slick machine that they've looked for the major part of the season. And, that coupled with Wigan hitting form, Leeds, that they're capable, Lee, more than capable. KR of those teams in the top bracket at the moment just don't seem to be fully clicking. when it's got to be. I mean, don't get me wrong. You'd have took a League Leaders Shield and a Challenge Cup at the start of the season if it had been offered to you, and you'd have ran with it. We know that, but obviously now you've got the double, and now you've finished top. You'd want another bash at OT, of course you would. I think sometimes a break comes at a bad time. Would you say this has come at the right time for your lads?
I think it's come at the perfect time. You can see the boys need it. You know, I think the boys, if anything, need to get away from the media side of things and just the pressure of on the field and off the field, just to get away from rugby league for a bit. You know, reset the mind and whatnot. Like we saw this little dip from Wigan, and a lot of people, including myself, was questioning Wigan's credibilities, and we're kind of seeing it from KR now. What the test is going to be is Wigan can turn it on when they need to, and we're all seeing that in the rugby league world. But what's going to be a big one now is, can Rovers do it in the semi-final, whether it's against a Leeds or Wakefield or whoever we face. We need to show that level of consistency. Again, what we've shown all year, but in Willie Peters pre-match, he's always prided himself on performance, but I think tonight Willie was just wanted to get over the line, and I think that tells you where not only himself but his staff and the players, maybe they're just under a bit of mental pressure and they're just mentally exhausted and potentially just need a little bit of time away from the game. You know, it's 16 days off. It's a good time to refresh, get your bodies right, and hopefully go again in fine form.
Yeah, well, hopefully in a minute we're going to get the press conference, which with Willie Peters. That'll be interesting if we get that. I'm just keeping an eye on that. Whilst we're waiting for that, let's bring Craig in. Craig's been at the ground tonight, I think. Craig, you down at Craven Park tonight, mate?
I am, mate. I'm here at Craven Park. I'm quite surprised at how many Rovers fans have left early, to be fair. I thought with this moment they'd want to soak it all in. I'm currently here as well with Ian, I believe house number 56.
Hey, Pete. You all right, mate? Congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much, mate.
That must have been heart in the mouth stuff, wasn't it?
So was that, mate?
That must have been heart in the mouth stuff, was it?
Yeah, at times you guys played really, really well. I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised at how well you played. I was expecting a bit of a walkover, I'm not going to lie. But no, well done to you guys as well. If you'd have played like that the rest of the season, you would be where you are now.
Well, there is a bit of that. I mean, Ian, me and Baz has been talking about the break, you know, KR's break maybe coming at the right time. As much as you've stumbled across the line for the League Leaders Shield, are you concerned about your prospects for the grand final?
I'd be lying if I said we had it in the bag. Yeah, the way we're playing at the moment, as I say, we need to up our game. We really do need to up our game, because as I say, the likes of Wigan are performing phenomenally at the moment. As I say, what is it, something like 150 points scored in the last 4 games, and only about 16 conceded, 20 conceded, somewhere around that region. If we bring this into the semi-finals or the final, God knows what could happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you'll be with us for the grand final, whether you're there or whether you're not. Craig is a neutral at the ground today. As a neutral, Craig, it appeared on the TV as if the home crowd were very, very edgy throughout that game, up until probably the Artemore try.
Yeah, there was. I think a lot of Rovers fans turned up today expecting this to be a bit of a walkover. Obviously, Warrington turned up, and I've said a few times on the group chats, where's this Warrington team been all year? As a neutral, I thought Warrington were the better team tonight. I thought they deserved it. But yeah, it was quite subdued at sometimes, was the Hull KR fans. But as Ian said, I think if Hull KR carry on playing on like they are at the minute, I would fully expect Leeds, Lee or Wigan wouldn't lose any sleep over this performance. Credit to Hull KR, I think they've been the best team over the season. Was it the best team tonight? No, definitely not. But definitely it was very subdued by the KR fans. I think they was just expecting Warrington to turn when the bellies tickled, and credit to Warrington, they really turned up today and they really put the effort in. So I just want to give them absolute kudos for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I say, very, very proud of the Warrington youngsters. Me and Baz have been saying massive future ahead for a lot of those lads in the years to come. But there's no arguing, Craig. Over the 27 rounds, it'd have been an injustice had KR not have won the league.
I think it would have been a slight injustice. KR have been the best team over 27 rounds. There's no denying that. They've really put teams to bed. They've really played some really fantastic rugby. It's been great to watch for KR as a neutral. Obviously, myself as a Wigan fan, a little bit gutted. That obviously, we've got nothing to play for tomorrow. But overall, I do think KR did deserve the League Leaders Shields tonight over the 27 rounds. I thought they have been absolutely phenomenal. And the KR can all dreads proud for how they've played over these last few weeks. I think they've been brilliant. Obviously, I've seen this a little bit dip in form, but as it's been mentioned before on the final whistle, I think it has been that they've not used that many players. I think the fewest players in the league, and I think I'll maybe starting to catch up to them. So this week off for KR is going to be massive for them now to recharge and see how they go for the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. Again, me and Baz has just been saying that this has probably come at the right time for KR just to get the batteries recharged in time for the playoffs. But no, I mean, look, in terms of the final whistle, Ian, and the emotion of it all, Bazza he's still away today, unfortunately for him. Can you describe as a KR fan, Ian, what it was like at full time and the full time scenes, the video, the lifting of the shield and the general atmosphere tonight, mate?
I think it was a bit of a mix of relief and jubilation, to be fair. Going in at half time up, we was looking to go in 16-6 up at half time. As I say, so and when once came out in the second half as well and pulled it back a level again, doubt started to set in amongst the crowd. We went a bit quiet in the East Stand, which is not like us at all. But luckily, we got the job done.
Yeah,
we've won the battle. Let's go and try and win the war.
Well, that's it. And at the end of the day, you've put yourself in a position to win it, and you've won it. And as much as, yes, the way in which you've, like I say, these last few weeks, it's been not the free-flowing KR we've been used to all season. I think once the dust has settled, I think what people will take away from this season is the memories of the great performances that KR have put on, as opposed to these last couple of weeks where maybe it's been a little bit jittery. But that's what good teams do. Good teams win in adversity, and they've managed to do that on a couple of occasions in these latter weeks.
Yeah, so we're finding ways to win, which is what's let us down in the past. We haven't done that a lot in previous years, but we are finally finding ways to win.
Yeah,
we're grinding out.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very good, mate. Very good, very good. Well, look, thanks for joining us live from the ground. You go and enjoy your celebrations, Ian. Go and have a couple of sherbets, mate, and soak up the atmosphere down there at Craven Street. And
Blake, do you want to say anything? So we've just got Ian's lad here. He's quite a young one.
Oh yeah, buddy, mom.
To say about KR?
He's very shy.
He's a bit shy.
Hey up, lad. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get used to this. This isn't normal for rugby league fans, mate. You know what I'm saying? You look at the men around you. Yeah, they've had to wait all their lives for this moment. So, soak it up, my friend, because you never know when this is going to happen again.
Okay.
Okay, it makes sense. Well done. Well done, young man. Right, well, enjoy your beers.
I'm a man of many words.
Absolutely, just like his dad. I'll see you guys hopefully on the final whistle. Enjoy the rest of your evening, fellas.
Yeah, you too, mate. See you later. Okay.
All the best. Take care. Nice of him to dial in directly from the ground there, Bazza. Yeah, I think in a roundabout kind of way, Craig was swallowing his pride there and pretty much saying that you deserve to win it. You've got to. We know that's tough for our Craig, but I think he just about managed to be humble and concede it.
I don't know. He took a couple of cheap shots, didn't he? Saying that some of the crowd left early, but if you actually look at the bigger picture, it's a school night and it's a Thursday night, so there will be families who have to get on. But hey, we'll take the cheap shots, but nah. Overall, mate, I'm chuffed to bits. Like you say, if we'd have won the Challenge Cup this year, and that was our season done, mate. It's ended 40 years of that. I think the only thing that's been tarnished for me as a KR fan over the course of 25 is a lot of the vileness across social media. It's shocking And I think as a rugby league fan, I think these small minorities let things down, let themselves down, and let the clubs down. And there's just no need for it. You applaud a team when they do well, and yeah, I think for me that's the only thing that's tarnished 2025 for me is just the vileness across social media. But apart from that, mate, I'm a very happy man. I've got a very happy family, and we've done the double, mate. It's what dreams are made of. It's what dreams are made of.
The thing with social media is, mate, you decide what you consume and what you don't. And, and what I would say is that, you're right. It's a very, very small minority. And you know who those people are at your club. I know what people are at my club. And it'd be the same for all other fans as well. All clubs have them. And I think the thing for me is it's like now. I guarantee you now, right? And I mean, and we know the names. I'm not even going to give them. I'm not even going to say the names, but you and me both know there'll be at least 2 Robins fans that are now on FC's Facebook page typing nonsense instead of cracking open a beer and enjoying this moment for what it is.
Yeah, and that's all it is about for me. It's like when we won the Challenge Cup, first thing I did was console Sammy, yourself, and just soaked it all in. I wasn't bothered about throwing mud at anybody else. And like tonight, we've done it. We've won the League Leaders Shield. For me, it's a major trophy. To the clubs that haven't won it, it's just a hubcap or whatever it is they call. But to me, it's serious, it's special, and I'm over the moon. Hey, up, here's Rebecca.
Well, what I would say to you, Bazza, is that you're the most look, regardless of the nonsense that happens around the League Leaders Shield in terms of its importance. You're the best team in 27 rounds of Super League, and it's been a competitive Super League. So, I think the purists understand the importance of coming out on top after 27 rounds, and it shouldn't be underestimated. Rebecca, good evening to you, Warrington Wolves fans. Before we get into the wire, I'm sure you'd like to extend your congratulations to Baz and to
all KR fans. Yeah, credit to you. That game just blew me away because when we was in the lead, and then KR fans went hush, and then next minute, a morgue went over. Then the crowd went up again. It was like, what's happening here?
Well, it's called winning a League Leaders Shield, Rebecca, mate. That's what it's called.
But yeah, credit to Hull, KR, obviously, and let them do the treble if they can. Obviously, they've got 2 weeks off. They could do it, but it depends who they've got in the playoff.
Well, if they do it, we'll be there to see it, mate. We'll be there to see history because, of course, we're all going together. That's what the Super League Raw community is all about. If you're not a member of the community, then by all means, join the community. The QR code is on the screen. We've got about 50 of us now are going to the grand final together, sitting together. It's going to be an incredible day.
But yeah, FC are out the playoffs, obviously.
They are, mate. Yeah, they lost to Catalan, yeah. So all FC are gone. And on that, actually, whilst Rebecca's mentioned it, Baz, I know you've got you'll have friends that are FC fans. It's been an incredible season from where they started, where they took up from last year. For them to have been 1 game off the playoffs, that is incredible progress for the Black and Whites.
Of course it is, mate. Any FC fan, I'd be happy with that. Like I say, my stepson, he's black and white, an unbelievable fan is Jensen. And again, he's over the moon with the progress his club's made. And it's not that, it's been competitive on the field as well and playing for the badge and looking like they care because a lot of the fans aren't seeing that for the past few years. So for him to be 1 game away from the playoffs, whether they're done out in the playoffs or not, we know FC can beat anyone on the day. It's quite commendable, especially with the youth that they've got playing for them as well. I don't think there'll be some who'll feel slightly disappointed that they come so close, but 2026, I dare say there'll be a real threat if they continue to progress on this season.
Yeah, they've just got to improve, haven't they? They've just got to. I mean, and let's be fair, they're making a lot of signings. Romano's expected to go. Harvey Hill's been announced today, and I think what will probably encourage maybe a couple of FC fans is the fact that the age profile of the players that they're bringing in is a lot younger than what they did last year. So that's going to bode well. Rebecca, as of course you're a Warrington fan, we'll continue to give KR the plaudits throughout the show. But from a Warrington perspective, the young lads that don the primrose and blue tonight, they carried the badge with distinction. For me, and we've been saying for a while, the future looks good for Warrington. They did very, very well, didn't they? Ewan, Tom McKinney, to name but two, really, really solid.
Yeah, really, really good from the youngsters, obviously. Coming from, it's wherever they come from, obviously, I don't know. But credit to them. And like you say, anything's possible in Super League. You can't predict it from one week to another. Like next week, you don't know what the game he's going to play you because you can't predict.
No, it's going to be a very, very interesting playoff series. Right, we're still waiting. We have got a camera down there for the Willie Peters press conference. We're hoping to bring you that live, which will be outstanding. Well done to Steve from rugbyleague.com, who has dialed in tonight, and he's just behind the scenes, and we're keeping an eye on that. Whilst we're keeping an eye on that, Adam Reeves is with us, a Wigan Warriors fan. Adam, I'm sure you want to pass on your congratulations to the Robins.
Absolutely, yeah. They've been the better team for 27 rounds. Can't nobody can say otherwise. They might have had they might have been not as well as everybody had hoped for tonight in terms of the overall performance, but they got over the line, and that's what champions teams do, don't they? They get over the line when they're not playing so well. So yeah, listen, as much as it pains me to say it, they were the better team across 27 rounds, and it would have been a travesty had they lost it, as much as I would have loved it.
It would have been a travesty. That said, at 65 minutes, you probably, and especially with the lead squad that's been announced for tomorrow, were you getting optimistic all of a sudden?
I was getting more than optimistic. I won't lie to you, I was getting excited. I was loving it.
Yeah.
I really thought they could have done it, but you know what I mean. The class tells, don't it? At the end of the day, fair play to the Wire youngsters. They were brilliant. They really, really were. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean. Sometimes it just takes that little bit of class and out to Morg. What a try that was. What a try.
Yeah, and I think that in tight games like that, and at the business end of the season, you need the likes of your Morgs and your Mays. These players that are game winners to be just that and turn up and get a game won. And whilst it wasn't, I'm going to be generous and say maybe a 7 out of 10 performance from KR tonight. Bazza might judge it a little bit less than that, but I'll go 7 out of 10. Those key players were the difference at the key and important times. The likes of Morg, who's been exceptional all season, and Tyrone May, again, 2 tries tonight. By his own admission, got off to a slow start, but got the 2 tries that ultimately was enough to get the win for Robins.
This is it. If you want to win the trophies, it's your big name players. You know what I mean? Like you say, your Mays and your Minchellas and Morgs, and they stood up. Then 2 did stand up. I thought Lewis was a bit quiet tonight. Did some decent kicks, in-play kicks, but there was other players on the park that I thought was a lot better tonight. But
yeah, and I think, do you know what? I think that's a fair point. Baz, I'll bring you in on that. I mean, look, Mikey's class. We know Mikey's class. On his day, there's nobody better. He's up there. But again, I think Mikey's a reflection on how the last time. I mean, I don't know if you've been watching much of the shows that we've been doing, but we said that in the first 21 rounds you won 20, in the last 10 you'd won 6. You've now won 7 and 11. But in that period, Mikey, for whether he's old, I mean, I know he's had a shoulder problem. Mikey's not been as good as we know Mikey is by his own standards. So that's a compliment in terms of the standards that Mikey has for himself. To pull off the grand final, especially when you know that you're going to be coming up now against teams that are in form and have got the personnel to compete, which, to be fair to Warrington, they didn't. They had a good game tonight. They've had a good knock, but they're not a grand final winning team. The ones that you're going to come up against are grand final potentially winning teams. You need Mikey to raise his levels back up. He just needs to refine that form that is match winning form.
Yeah, 100%. But I think Mikey, the last few weeks, has been playing a slightly beaten pack, a tired pack. So if your pack are getting you going forward as what you're used to, your backs are going to struggle. And I feel like Mikey's tried too hard sometimes in trying to drag the game forward himself, and the opposition are reading him. But you say about big.
1 second, Baz. I think we might be getting Willie. Hang on. I don't know if we're getting set.
Yeah. We are good. Willie Peters, congratulations. Let's break it down firstly, your reaction to finally getting over the line.
Yeah, really pleased for everyone involved in the club. Obviously, the players are the ones that do it every week. You know, it's a reward. Obviously, getting the league leaders for consistency throughout the season. I want to thank the players and the staff for their efforts so far. There's been 2 trophies that have been available. We've got 2, but obviously there's 1 to go, and we want to work towards getting that one as well.
And your reaction to the performance, it was a tough night in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, I think when we broke down the first half, it wasn't too bad. I know we were 4 points ahead. They had a 40-20. We didn't go up for a kick. I thought we defended okay. There was an obstruction, which was obviously no try. But aside from that, we built our way back in the game. And what I was pleased about is we didn't do that last week. So it was a very similar start. And in the second half, if Arthur scores that try, we'd possibly have some momentum and go on with it. We didn't. And then, again, another kick. They score, and then it was game on because it was only 4 points of difference. So that's when, once they got ahead, it was always going to be a test of our character, and our spine needed to step up. And I'm really proud and pleased for them because we spoke in the group last week around the importance that they've got, the responsibility they've got within the group. And I thought each spine member stepped up today.
There was a bit of an air of tension, to put it mildly, in the crowd. How were you feeling in your coach's position?
Yeah, there was. I went down to the sideline. I was in the box, and because obviously there was, I felt that we should be creating our energy, but they certainly found a voice at the back. And I thought they got behind us then, but there was a moment there that they probably did get a bit quiet. They're probably thinking like everyone, oh, what's going on here? But then when we needed them, they stepped up, and obviously the players stepped up in the most important time. So we're certainly not getting carried away with it, but to win like that, leading into a semi is not a bad thing either, because you can go and win by 40. And, what does that achieve? We found a way to win in the back end, so I'm happy about that.
That said, when that try went in from Tyrone May near the end, was there a sense of relief for you?
Once we scored that try, I know we're only 2 points ahead. The one before, I thought we just needed to get ahead again, and I felt that we'd managed the game. We got a penalty. Most of the time you probably go for 2, but we thought that with Mark Sneed's short kickoffs, that they'd have 4 minutes to get the ball back. So even if we didn't score that try, I was comfortable that we'd be able to defend it. Aside from a chip kick or a ricochet or something like that, I felt comfortable that we'd be able to defend our way in those last 4 minutes, but we found that try. So, yeah, it was not so much a relief. It was, I think a reward for, the spine of what they did to finish off that game.
You've earned yourself a week off now. What do the next couple of weeks look like for you?
Yeah, so we've got our presentation on Saturday. So we've got recovery tomorrow. We've got our presentation, which is going to be a great way to sort of celebrate what we've done so far. But certainly, again, not getting carried away with anything at this stage. It's more around it's as I said, thanking and celebrating the season regardless of what's happened. People have worked hard, so it's important we do that. But it's going to be business on Monday. We come back in to work on Monday. Have a couple of days off, and then they'll be in on Thursday, and then the weekend off. So there's going to be a mix of resetting, but also we need to get some work done as well. And the week after that, then we sort of build into our normal week that we do. So a couple of days of training, but it's really important what they do when they go away from the club.
Do you feel there's a few more gears that Hull KR can go up through now in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think the playoffs do that regardless of sort of how you're going. I think, the best 6 teams in the competition, most teams are beating everyone, and they'll be exciting. That's how we like it to play. We like it that way. We're not like a stop-start game where there's not attrition in the game, and that's what semi-finals will have that. So you don't really have to motivate players in semis. It sort of does it itself. If they're looking for motivation, well, we shouldn't be there. But I know that won't be the problem with our team. I know they'll be highly motivated, and as I said, we want to chase one more trophy and finish off on what's been it has been a memorable year so far, but we want one more.
And how good was it tonight to see Noah Booth get 2 tries?
Yeah, he's going to be exciting player for us for many years. I've said it before, he hasn't done a pre-season with us, but once he does, he's going to be even better for that. There's a couple of things, in terms of his catching in his game, but aside from that, I thought he did a great job. We brought him off at the end, and he gave everything, and that's all we can ask. And when he does that, or if he continues to do that, then who knows, where it can go.
Did everyone come through okay?
As far as I know, I need to speak to Dan ahead of performance, but yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone was okay.
So congratulations for tonight, but job not done yet.
No, certainly not. But thank you. Yeah, it's a great reward as people that worked hard, the consistent work.
I know what you said about tough games and have to do it in the semis. Does that override concerns you would have? You never have when you come to what I'm trying to get at. Could you the manner in which they found shit?
Yeah, honestly, not let it end around, win by 8 or win at the end. And then when you got guys in the team like him, you can make games. The main thing we wanted to achieve tonight. If that's people looking for that have the momentum going in, that's fine. I'm comfortable with it. It's a new semi-final. Seen teams before flying at the back end. You've seen it over in the NRL previously, and then they're out in straight sets. On the flip side, some teams might just not perform how they want to perform, but it's a brand new ball game. So I'm comfortable, obviously, where we sit at the moment because we've just after 27 rounds we sit on top.
We've spoken quite a few times about evidence, and evidence delivers and derives belief. You've probably won 2. Well, you have won 2 must-win games now this season. Challenge Cup final, league this week. You probably performance-wise haven't been at your best, but you found a way to win. Is that sort of evidence crucial for what's coming up in that you know that you don't have to play at your best, but you can still win the big games?
I think if you look at again over the course of the season, we've won in different types of ways. So that gives me confidence going into a semi-final that we can win tonight. We can win, as you said, like in the Challenge Cup. St Helens a few weeks ago, I was really happy with our performance. We only just won on the scoreboard, but then we've won where we've beaten teams by a large number. We've won all types of ways, and that's what you want to do. You want to have different ways of winning. And tonight was a way that we may have to find in 2 weeks' time, because there's no doubt it's going to be high pressure. It's going to be no matter who we play, it'll be like that. So, and that's what we're going to expect.
And you mentioned earlier about the whole quite chilled about not going in and absolutely flying it because it's just completely different. There are other clubs that will go in flying it in red hot form, but you are very relaxed about where you're at performance-wise. And
very relaxed because I've said it before. Like people were saying, I think we were at 8. They got to get beat, because you can't. Well, I don't agree with that. I want to win. You want to win every single game, and you'd love to win every single game by 30, but you need to find different ways to win. It's a new ball game now. That's my whole point. Like we need to make sure what we do in the next 2 weeks is everything to make us perform in 2 weeks' time. Doesn't matter what we've done. I don't care what we've done. All I care about now is what we do in the next 2 weeks. I really do, because we won the league leaders, so we're most consistent team after 27 rounds, but that doesn't matter if you don't get next week or 2 weeks right. It matters now what we do the next 2 weeks. So how we recover, what the players do away from when they're here, what they do here, and then obviously the most important is what we do in 2 weeks' time. So
you touched on it with Sharon, the training this week. So is it giving them time away and when they're here training very hard? Is that?
They'll train. Yeah, so Monday they'll have a good session, and then Thursday will be building towards, because they're not playing next week. So it'll be similar to not like a game. I want to take away the collisions. I want to take away the impact, because that's when you have a week off. But we still need to do enough. So in 2 weeks' time, we've built to that. So they go out there, they're feeling fresh, but they're also ready for collisions as well, because you can do not enough. Like, you can do less, and less is not necessarily more, but obviously you don't want to be cooking them as well. You need to get the right balance, and that's what we're aiming to do. And I think it's an advantage having the week off. There's no doubt at this stage of the year. We need a week off. When I say we need a week off, we're always going to finish sort of first and second for a while now. And I think mentally, you've got 3 or 4 games before you have a week off. And I think some players, the outsider certainly was grateful for that. And I'm sure other players in opposition teams probably would have liked to have a week off as well. But you know what? At the end of the day now, it's not how you feel. You just got to keep going.
Just lastly from me on Tyrone, because he's not known for being the moments player. You've got others in your squad who do that, but he's got 2 pretty big moments to draw your level and see it off at the end. How pleased are you, I suppose, for him, because he doesn't always get the headlines, he doesn't always get the limelight, but he'll certainly get it after.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unfortunate, but a lot of people look at the try, the moments tonight. So there's been a lot of over the past 2 seasons. He holds our attack together. He's the one, when we have our spine meetings, he leads all that. Obviously Mikey's Mikey, and you can't teach, what Mikey's got. But Tyrone is very, very intelligent, and Mikey's learning a lot from him, in and around the game. And he knows the game as well as anyone. What he needs to do probably more, which he did tonight, is run the ball, because he's dangerous when he runs a footy. He's very dangerous. So hopefully tonight it gives him a bit more, confidence and belief just to run the ball. Because sometimes I think you can, when you're in that middle half role, you can just get too caught up in traffic, organising, traffic cop directing, things too much. Run the ball, and that's what he did well.
I'm just not used to seeing him run the ball.
Yeah.
Twice comes up with 2. I mean, the second one, he's been wriggled out 2, 3, 4 tackles.
Yeah, he's a dangerous runner. Like when we signed him, it was I pictured that a lot. That try tonight. Like, I thought, he'd do a lot more of that near the line and taking the line on. So as I say, hopefully he does it more now. But he's that middle half role. He's the organiser. He's Nathan Cleary, Harry Smith, like those type of players are organising more so than running. Nathan Cleary was one of the best runners in the game still. That's what Tyrone needs to do, run.
I'm sure we're pleased with the Nathan Cleary comparison.
Yeah, let's not go there. Let's not go there. I'm just saying that.
It had to top the elation of winning your first trophy in 40 years at Wembley, but is this a bigger achievement, given you've done it over the course of a very, very long season?
It's different. There's no doubt Wembley, after that siren, the way we won, it was unbelievable. But look, this is great, because it's over a course of 27 weeks. But it's not the major trophy. I think the 2 major trophies are probably Wembley, and then obviously it's winning the Super League. So that's, as I said, that's what we're sort of going after. It's a great reward, as I said before, for the players and the staff, of how hard they work and how consistent they are.
I think there's been a narrative for a while that it's OKR's League Leaders Shield to lose, but you've really had to earn it, haven't you, especially given the way we're going to finish?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that we'd have to. Like I remember saying to you guys and the midweek press as well, people were talking around Wigan stumbling, or Wigan's not the same Wigan. Of course they are. They just didn't have 2 of their key players. One being Bevan French, and the other one was Luke Thompson, and they're back now and they're flying again. And so we knew that we'd have to keep winning. Obviously last week it wasn't a good performance, and we knew we had to win tonight. So Yeah, it's a big achievement for the club because I think it is the first time that we've ever done it in the Super League era. So it's a great achievement.
And that's a better way to win it than with a few rounds to spare.
It is. It is. Look, tonight, I'm always up front and honest in my press conferences. I think it's a good thing that we had that game tonight. Like we found a way, and our spine stepped up. They need to step up in 2 weeks' time because you look at all the big games, the spine plays. Look at that grand final last year. One moment, Bevan French try. Tonight, Tyrone May. That was the difference. You know, that's what you need going into the game. So. Yeah, like every week you want to win, but it was nice to wrap it up tonight.
And the Challenge Cup final would have been a stressful afternoon for you because it was a tight game and there was a big stage. Was it like that tonight emotionally for you?
Not really. No, it was. I come down to the sideline because it did sort of go a bit quiet, and I thought, you want to get in it, be in it. But once we scored that try, wasn't too bad. Similar to when we scored the try, it was only at the end. But I thought Mikey would kick the goal at Wembley. But it was a totally different feeling. That was, Wembley was, we knew we were winning for the major silverware. This is still important to us, but it's not the 3 weeks' time. That'll be the big one.
What did you think of the way you conceded? Were you worried about any lack of urgency in the back, or were you worried about?
No, the one they went straight through the inside shoulder. That was a poor try. The back row went through. I wasn't happy with that. But the kicks, young winger, that's probably Noah's learning. Get up for one of them. He needed to get up for that. They didn't talk. And the second one, he's probably best just letting, because he was never going to get to that. Letting their player catch it, and then we squash him once he catches it. So they're things he'll learn. So no, I'm not worried about that. But can't think of the other ones. But that one at the inside shoulder, that wasn't the one here they scored when Dufty passed to Silas. Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah, and then the second one, we as I said, we should have let them catch it. Gildart should have got up off the scrum, get forward a little bit more, so he'll learn from that. Yeah, there's one try there that was when they come straight through the heart of us. That's not good enough.
And just finally for me on Booth, they obviously targeted him and thought he was a bit of a weakness.
Yeah.
He scored 2 tries, so that's always good to see, isn't it? How much of a role do you know he's going to play in the finals, Joe coming back?
Yeah, look, if Joe will be right, so Joe more than likely, he will come in the side. So assuming he's going to be okay. But tonight was a great experience for him, and we know that he can do a job. He's a big body. They targeted him, like you said. They were kicking down that side. Sneed's got that left foot. He hooks it back. He wobbles it, So thought he handled himself well. I was happy how he responded after that first try.
Willie, just a quick one from me. You mentioned Joe about Mickey. Have you got an update on where he's at?
Who's that, mate?
Mickey Mack.
Mickey, hopeful for semis, but yeah, at this stage I can't give you anything. He's got to run. We've got to see where he's at. Not sure. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, Willie.
So there we go, Willie Peters' press conference straight after the game. Bazza, that was a bit of a bonus for you, mate, wasn't it?
Always good to hear Willie, and I always think he speaks really, really well, and he was very honest in his post-match, and yeah, you can't ask for much more than that from a coach, and I think what he's going to do in these next 2 weeks with the players, I think it's absolutely spot on. Still working the boys, but not overworking them, and it doesn't seem panicked. He's had a lot of pressure from the media with regards to our current form, but I think he's handled it really well, and yeah, he seems very relaxed. He's not hit the panic button just yet, so we'll see what happens in a couple of weeks. 16 days, it's a long time off, so there's a lot to work up on between now and the semi and get some bodies back.
Yeah, Steve Rudge, mate, stay where you are. We'll bring you in a minute. We've got a Wakefield Trinity fan, Steve Rudge, with us. Of course, fantastic for Trinity tonight. We're going to go back to Steve Mascord in the press room. Steve, over to you, Steve.
One
Here
second.
he comes.
Hello.
When you're ready, Steve.
Hey guys, I've only just heard you for the first time. Sorry. Yeah. So what do you think of that, guys?
Yeah, superb, mate. I thought he spoke really, really well. So overall, Steve, your assessment of KR's achievement and where they go from here, mate.
Well, I thought the best line from Willie there was when he said, "People will say we're going into the finals with no momentum. We'll go ahead." So he knows what we're all saying, and he knows that the last 5 weeks has been their least dominant part of the season, and they're going into the playoffs on the back of their least dominant part of the season. So, it's great that they did find a way to win. He's 100% correct there. I'll be really interested to see what sort of performance Wigan put on tomorrow. But as I said, I would argue objectively they have a slide that needs arresting. I really do. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, fair play. And of course, you can't be in two places at once, my friend. Tonight, history made. Wakefield Trinity are now guaranteed 6th in Super League. What an achievement for Darryl Powell and his team.
Yeah, it is a great performance. I just wonder, guys, I'll put this to you: does their lineup tomorrow change as a result? Do they rest players tomorrow night? Do they change within their 21? What do they? What do you think?
Well, to be fair, it's a pretty strong squad that he's picked. I mean, there's a few of the fringes, like, for example, I'd expect for like Kai Rodwell, who's not had much rugby league this year, you'd expect Kai to get a good run out. So there might be a few periphery players that get a shot. But looking at it, he's picked a really strong 21-man squad. So I think, and because they're playing knockout rugby league next week, I think they'll want to maintain some momentum. Is my thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, well, tomorrow night we could try and figure out how we're going to do this on rugbyleague.com, and I think I'm just going to go back to the try and direct it all from the lounge room, actually, because if you go to one game, you miss the other three. So, but we're also taking tomorrow night the championship playoff from Bradford. So, but it'd be super interesting. I mean, I don't know how all that. I think this is the first time we've tried to do this post match. So I hope it was useful, and I hope we can kind of fine tune it for next season and put together a pretty good program after matches.
Yeah, well, you need to have a word with your boss. A bit of sponsorship won't go amiss, mate. You know what I'm saying? You being the big boys and me being the small fry. It'd be very nice if you sponsored the phone in. That'd be outstanding. So get into Paul's ribs, mate.
I don't feel like a big boy. I'll tell you that.
I've been in the same room.
I feel like you're actually better resourced than we are with all the ticker tape down the bottom of the screen and all that sort of stuff. I think objectively, if people listen to our radio station for an hour and then watch you for an hour, they'd say you're the big boy.
Well, I'm very humble, Steve. I'm very humble. But no, it's been fantastic. It's been great to be able to do this. Yes, we'll do plenty more of this as we go through. And just for your note, we're doing the phone in at 5 o'clock on Saturday to bring round 27 to a close. So if you want to be involved in that, mate, keep your eye out and be a part of that. But no, really appreciate you getting involved, mate. It is something that we will take forward. Safe journey home and enjoy your Friday night rugby league when it comes round this time tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, too late to go to the pub here in Hull, so I'll just go back to my hotel. Could you see Willie okay? His head was his head chopped off a bit? Or
no,
okay?
All good, mate. All good.
You heard him pretty clearly?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, obviously we know that Wi-Fi can be a bit in and out, but for me, we call ourselves Super League Raw for a reason. We can be raw at times. It's perfectly fine.
Well, have a good one, guys. Thank you.
Take care, Steve. All the best.
Bye.
Fantastic, Bazza. Growing all the time, mate. Growing all the time. Good to get that in. No doubt about it. Now, in the same spirit, Bazza, as I'm genuine. Congratulations from me. Gritted teeth from other people. It's now time for you to give a bit back because here comes Steve Rudge, Wakefield Trinity, back in Super League and back in the playoffs. Bazza, what have you got to say to our Steve?
Massive congratulations, mate. Two things. One, you've been a breath of fresh air this year. And secondly, you kept my nearest and dearest out of the top six. So big raps from me. Thoroughly deserved, mate. You've played some outstanding rugby this year. Proud of Pontefract, that's for sure, kiddo.
Cheers.
Steve, let's get really 2023. I mean, what a 3 years you've had. 23 was a disaster, absolute disaster. Players that are playing for you now out of form, looking completely and utterly not like they were Super League players. Galvanised. What's that? Say that, mate.
They look lost.
Yeah, and then you've got last season. Back down to the Championship. Great year. Darryl Powell come in. Made some good signings, got your confidence back, reconnected, it's fair to say, with the community. A lot of investment off the field as well. And Matt Ellis has brought you back into Super League this year. It's been a very attractive brand of rugby league that you played. Those players that had a touch and go 23, Max Jowett, Lino as two examples there, have shot back and really, made people eat some humble pie who doubted their ability. As a Wakey fan, you must be pinching yourself, mate. I mean, it's been an unbelievable 3-year journey for you, hasn't it?
It's been total roller coasters for more than 3 years, but yeah, I still pinch myself. How we done this year? Straight up. And
are you relieved that FC lost so you didn't have to do it the hard way?
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm absolutely buzzed. It's why I'm still awake now. I should have been in bed ages ago. Got me up too early.
Fair play to you. I don't know if Reeves is still there. Adam, are you still there?
I am.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll want to congratulate Steve on an incredible season.
Oh, unbelievable! Obviously, just to echo what Basil was saying there, absolutely breath of fresh air. From where they've come from, and what a stellar season. They played some top quality rugby. None more so against us. A couple of months ago, they absolutely wiped the floor with us. No complaints whatsoever. So yeah, they took a lot of scalps this season. Yeah, they've had some down performances as well, but
hasn't everybody?
Exactly. So, but no, absolutely brilliant from Wakey, and I feel they 100% deserve that 6th place. And good luck to them in the eliminator.
I mean, pound for pound, Steve, I'd go as far to say you're the team of the year, pound for pound. Because let's be fair, KR were at a level last season. They got to a grand final. I mean, they were expected to compete, and they have competed, and they've got 2 trophies. Wigan are Wigan, simple as that. St. Helens are St. Helens. Where you're concerned, though, to have come up from the Championship and to have done what you've done, I think pound for pound, it's probably the story of the season. I know Leeds has been good, but again, there's an expectation with Leeds. I remember at the start of the season going on BBC Radio Leeds and back in Wakefield, round 1 to beat Leeds. And James Dayton and Phil Kaplan nearly fell off the chairs, and lo and behold, you did it, because I did feel that you compete. I didn't think you finished top 6. I had you just outside. I had you 7th or 8th. But this is just unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
In half, I'd have been happy with 8th. I'd have been astounded with 8th, because that was just amazing, isn't it? But oddly enough, there's only 2 teams you haven't beaten this year. It's St. Helens and Hull FC.
Well, so, you don't have to worry about one of them. And
don't worry about Saints. Saints are magic, though.
I don't think you'll have to worry about Saints either. I mean, look,
I don't think we'll get Saints, though, will they? Unless they get to the final. I
don't think you have to worry about Saints, but you're gonna, let's just, because we've got the time, and I don't know if other people are going to come on or not. I mean, the floor is open, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, the link's in the description. You can come on the show. If you're watching on Facebook, the link is in the chat. You can come on the show. We'll carry on the discussion for another few minutes. I mean, in terms of you though, Steve, let's just talk honestly now. It's Lee at the LSV. That's what it's looking like. I can't see it going any other way. I think the league table is as it stands. I can't see it moving or shaking, quite frankly. I think Wigan will do Leeds tomorrow. Looking at, again, Wigan have picked a really strong squad. We know that Leeds are missing Miller. They're missing Connor. That's pretty much their strike, really effective for that. So I just think that the league table is probably the league table. So you're going to be going to Lee. Now, of course, you and Lee have had some quality battles this season, some really close games. I mean, you're probably happy as it is, but can you go one more?
80 minutes, all it is doing. It's 80 minutes. We've got the players to do it. It's whether they got the belief. They've got belief. I think we have. I think that's why we're going with a strong song tomorrow. I don't think he's going to drop many. I don't think he'll change the squad. We need that momentum.
And I think what's absolutely essential, Wakefield Trinity fans, and we'll probably echo this on Weekly, and we'll probably echo this on Final Whistle and other things as well. Wakey have travelled pretty well in and around Yorkshire this year in away games. We know it's going to be the Friday game. I'm pretty confident it's the Friday. Is it the Friday game? I think
it's Friday, yeah.
It's absolutely it's invaluable that people do a really good sickie in Wakefield on Friday, and they travel over the Pennines and they fill that away stand. And because what we do know is that Lee'll fill their 3 stands. It'll be a partisan crowd down at the Lee Sports Village. It's imperative for me, that belief that you talk about, that the fans can fuel that. It's essential you fill that stand at the LSV in a week's time.
Yeah, I hope so, because we've had a good away support in quite a lot of games. So, like I say, so one more to go, and then see what happens after that.
Well, Rebecca's come back to congratulate you. She just wants to get involved. Rebecca, Steve, you've got to be very, very proud of Wakefield Trinity backs.
I am, yeah. Obviously, Darryl Powell, Coach Warrington a few years ago. Sadly, he left, but he's done a good job at Waker. I've got no bad words to say about Darryl Powell.
Redemption is, I think, what they call it. Redemption. I think Powell's had the last laugh, certainly this season. Anyway, is what I would say on that. Right, let's get back into the Wigan and the KR boys just to finish off. We'll bring this to a close. Great to have Steve on. I mean, and thanks to rugbyleague.com for sharing this. And again, people who are listening to this, you need to get on it. We are live. Join the Super League Raw YouTube channel. Just go and put Super League Raw. If you're listening to us on rugbyleague.com, go onto YouTube, Super League Raw. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and when we do a live phone in, you'll get a notification. You can come on the show. Bazza, this is good. This is interesting. This is interesting. So you would expect, you would expect that the winner of the Leeds Saints game is the team you're playing, unless it's Wakey. So let's just work on league table. The league table doesn't lie. Wakey could spring an upset, so that could happen, and it could happen. But the likelihood is you're going to play the winner of Leeds and Saints in the semi-final at Craven Park. Let's make this interesting from your perspective. Let's throw Wakey into the mix. Of those 3, in which order would you want to face them?
And this is no disrespect, because every one of them teams can beat anyone on the day. So, judging on our form this year, it'd have to be Saints, Wakefield, and then Leeds.
What? So you'd want Saints first or last?
Yeah. I'd rather play Saints out of the 3, and that is absolutely no disrespect to any of the Saints faithful because of what they've achieved in their history. But I just feel like over the last 2 years, we've done all right against them, and pound for pound with the squads, I think we've got the edge over them this year. I know we've just won the league, but even in the games, in the middles, in the backs, I think pound for pound, we just edge them. They don't have to strike that a Wakefield or a Leeds have. Jake Connor and Lockie Miller can split any defence up, and same as Mason Lino and Max Jowett. I think they hold a more threatening attack than a St Helens, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what? You're quite right. If you look at the tail of the tape in 2025, you've Saints. You've been comfortable against Saints, whereas Wakey and Leeds have caused you problems. So I can completely and utterly understand why Saints would be your preferred choice in that semi-final game. Adam, coming to you, of course, you can't play Lee. That can't happen. We know that. And you can't play Wakefield because for obvious reasons. So you again, I'm right in saying that, aren't you? You can't play.
I thought we could.
You can. No, you
can
can.
play
So,
Lee,
yeah. So no, you can. So you can play Lee, or you could play Saints or Leeds, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So you could. They're your 3. So In what order would you want to face them? Lee, Leeds, and Saints. Who would you want first? Who would you want second? Who would you want third? The only one that you can't play is Wakey. Go on.
I want to play Lee first.
Interesting, considering the 2-1 up in the Battle of the Borough.
Then Saints and Leeds.
Wow. Wow. Now, I can imagine Mr. Sale is now, he peeled off the ceiling hearing that one. Battle of the Borough, you want Lee. Well, I think you might get your wish. I think that could happen. And that said, though, Steve, I do think there's an upset coming somewhere in these playoffs, and it could very well be Wakefield in that first game. There's no doubt about it. If you play at your optimum, Lee would have to be at their optimum to win it, is what I would say. Would you agree?
Agree, totally. Yeah, we have to play his best game. We need some magic, I think. Some magic. Some we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, no. Well, all I know, guys, it's going to be a fascinating playoff series, and of course, hopefully, the more we get these phone-ins going, I think they'll get traction. I think the fact we've got Rugby League. .com now on board who want to get involved with it should give it a bit of life as well. So we're really looking forward to this carrying on next year and hopefully getting more non-members being a part of the phoning as well. And of course, Rebecca, who would you like to play in the playoffs? Oh, hang on a minute.
We're not in it. We're not in it.
That's next year, Rebecca. It's always I here, mate.
Hey.
Don't worry about that. Always I here.
We might get kicked out yet. You don't know.
Well, I'll tell you now, mate, those kids have done themselves no harm at all in terms of putting a rocket up the backside of players.
I won't get too excited, Adam, because you never know what's around that corner,
You never know. Yeah, it's all right. Adam knows that. Adam knows that. But, they can always break the salary cap to stop relegation. Right, we'll just leave that there. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll just leave that there. All banter, all good fun. He can't come back at me because he knows it's true. Outstanding stuff. Great phoning. Fantastic. Really, thanks to Stephen.
Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm at Wigan tomorrow, by the way. I'm in Wigan stand. Not a Leeds stand, so...
Yeah, and make sure you get home.
Yeah, well...
Yeah. Okay. But ladies and gentlemen, that's been another phone-in. Baz has had a right bonus getting the Willie Peters press conference as part of this phone-in tonight. He's absolutely buzzing. We'll see you very soon, Bazza. On behalf of us all, we hope you've enjoyed the phone-in. We hope you've enjoyed the debate. And all I've got to say is many, many congratulations to Wakefield Trinity. Like I say, what a story that is. All you up the Trinners out there, you need to get involved more on Super League Raw. We respect what you've done this year. An incredible brand of rugby league. Delighted for you all. And your story might not be finished yet. And for Hull KR fans and everybody to do with Craven Park, everything about Hull KR is to be celebrated. What you've done off the field has been incredible. The brand of rugby you've played for most rounds this year, I would say 3/4 of the season, has been sensational. Can you get it back in time for the 2 final games of the season? We're going to find that out in the next 3 or 4 weeks. But all I would say is this, Robins fans, enjoy it. Stay in your own community. Celebrate it. Don't feel the need to have to go and answer to anyone because you don't need to. Just sit there, have your beers, have your champagne, have your Prosecco, toast an incredible season, and who knows, could it be a treble? We'll see you next time for more phone-ins. You take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.